Okay, y'all, so today we're doing something a little bit different. Well, it's different for y'all. It's the same for me. I do it all the time. Excuse me. But I do got my co-host Slappy right here with me. Is that a giveaway for what's going on in the video today? If that is a giveaway for what's going on in the video today, then you guys are definitely fans of R.L. Stine. I love R.L. Stine as the author, but I also love him as a director as well, because everybody knows R.L. Stine is the creator of Goosebumps. He made Goosebumps books over the years. If anybody can relate, when they were teenagers, like, we used to be on edge waiting for the next episode of what the next book is going to be. And then when he brought it to the big screen, we're like, oh my gosh, I can't wait till the new episode comes out. So if y'all wasn't one of them type of kids, I was. So welcome. Come on, sit down. Let's reminisce on some of our favorite Goosebumps episodes in books. Okay, so I got a few books that I've been having ever since I was in high school, you guys. Probably in middle school. Like, I literally still have all of my books. So do any of y'all remember, like, when these came out? This was the books that came out when it was like more than one story inside of one. You know what I mean? It was just different type of stories inside of one book. And I remember I bought this from a bookstore. No, a book fair. We had a book fair in my school, and I literally bought this book, and I wanted this book. And it was one of the newer type of books that had the like the, what is this called, you guys? Something glyphics or something like that. I don't know, but it was one of the books that had the new little shimmery on them. Y'all know the word I'm looking for. I can't find the word I'm looking for. And then, do you all remember, like, My Shrunken Head? I remember this book, and I remember I also bought this from a book fair as well. And I wanted this book so much because green is one of my favorite colors. And it's so crazy why I wanted the books, y'all. Y'all would think I want these books to read them. I mean, yeah, I wanted to read them, but also, like, I also seen plenty of the episodes. But I like the artwork on the book. Like, look at that artwork. Like, that's so nice. And then I love how R.L. Stine always has you, like, on edge, wanting to know what's going on. It just says heads up, and it's My Shrunken Head. And then on the back is like, 2 heads are better than 1. So it's always give you, like, that creepy type of vibe to, like, what's gonna happen or what's going on inside this book. And I do remember this book was about a teenage boy and girl went to visit their aunt. I think they went to go visit their aunt, and she, like, collects, like, artifacts and stuff. Like, she collects stuff, or either was, like, one of those people who are, like, over there in Egypt or something, and she collects, like, artifacts. And I think she gave, like, them a shrunken head. And I think, you know, the shrunken head probably came back to life or something. It was something like that, I'm pretty sure. I definitely do know it was an auntie. I definitely know it was the auntie who gave them the head, y'all. Okay? The auntie gave it the head and stuff like that. So this book right here is Werewolf Skin. So I get this one mixed up because I like the Werewolf of Fever Swamp. That's my favorite. That's like one of my favorite books and one of my favorite episodes. But this one, Werewolf Skin, I don't remember what quite happened in this one. But at the time, I'm pretty sure I did. But this one came with a mask that I never ripped out. So you just rip the mask out and you can cut the eyes out and then wear it, you know, as a werewolf. But I'm not going to do none of that. Like, I'm not going to rip my books up. I'm not going to cut them up. And even as a kid, yes, I was excited to get this book. And yes, I was excited that the, you know, the werewolf skin was in there and stuff. But the mask, but I never did rip my book up. Y'all gotta forgive me because it's cold out here. Like, it's always cold when I'm doing these videos for y'all. And I don't know if y'all can see, but I can see my eyeliner is running. Y'all just stay right here on the camera with me. Ain't no big deal. I'm just gonna fix this real quick. Know what I mean? I don't gotta stop the whole video just to wipe off some eyeliner, you guys. You know what I mean? It's cold out here. That's why I should have had a jacket on. But that's okay. I don't got no jacket on. Let's just go ahead and continue our video. Ain't that right, Slappy? He don't feel like talking right now, but that's okay. We'll get him talking in a minute. And so this was another book, you guys, called The Beast from the East. Now, I'm not going to lie to y'all. I've never seen this episode. And I actually never read this book. I never read it. This is not even one of my favorites, to be honest. I don't even know how I got this book. This is probably one of them books I don't know, like, wanted it because it was purple. But I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, like, I've never even read this book. I've never even seen the episode. I don't even know what goes on in this book. And that's kind of bad. But hey, I'm not gonna sit here and lie, so. I know y'all know this one. Say Cheese and Die Again. So, Say Cheese and Die was one of R.L. Stein was one of his first Goosebump episodes. It was one of the episodes that came out whenever the series came out. The TV series. So, Say Cheese and Die was one of the very first ones. And basically, that story was about some kids who found a camera. They found an old camera. And then they would take pictures, but then they would soon find out that if I'm not mistaken, they would soon find out that the photos that they took pictures of those people basically died. You know what I mean? There were skeletons in the pictures. So, and then Say Cheese and Die Again basically was just like a part 2 of that. So they basically got the camera again. It started happening again. So here's the thing with that. Hulu revamped Goosebumps. Okay? So if y'all didn't know, y'all can go watch the old school Goosebumps on Netflix. I think they got 3 seasons. So y'all can go and watch that. So Hulu revamped Goosebumps. And once again, the first episode was Say Cheese and Die. They made Say Cheese and Die on Hulu, you guys. They turned it into a basically rated R movie. Now, this is my opinion. Okay, so some of y'all who seen it or may have not seen it or might want to go and watch it after this. To me, they turned it into a rated R movie. There's profanity in it. I ain't seen no nudity yet, but I didn't even get a chance to see the nudity because I think I only saw one episode and was like, okay, this is not what I thought it was giving. But then I went back, like, I didn't even give them the chance. Like, I didn't even go back to see was there anything else that was inappropriate, go back to see was there anything that was distasteful, to go back to see was there anything that I did not like or anything that I did like. I didn't even give it a chance. I didn't even go back. So they Say Cheese and Die. Okay? Which is not my favorite episode. It's not my favorite book, but it is one that I saw. I've seen it before, and it's a very popular one. If nobody knows nothing, they do know Say Cheese and Die, and they know Night of the Living Dummy. And the rest left. He still ain't talking yet. We'll get him talking, you guys. This one, Stay Out of the Basement. So Stay Out of the Basement, this book was basically about It was if I'm not mistaken, it was a teacher. Now I'm gonna tell you what I think it was about because I can't remember. I think it was about a teacher who was doing experiments and he turned into a plant. Or either it was the parents doing experiments and they turned into a plant. But I think it was a teacher who was doing experiments. Some students went to his house. They went downstairs in the basement, and then that's when they seen him, and he was a plant guy. I think that's what this book is about. Again, it says something waiting in the dark. Now this cover is really, really cute. The colors are really, really vibrant, and it says live plants, dead people on the back. Like, R.L. Stine is a genius. Like, and if he never would have thought about doing little extras on the book, I would have thought about it. Because it's very creative and it seems like something that, you know, should be done and it is necessary. But if I'm not mistaken, this was a teacher who turned into a plant and the students went over there lurking and got more than what they asked for. You know what I mean? They went downstairs and they got more than what they asked for, and the man was a plant. I can't even remember if the kids got away or not. I can't remember if they escaped from the plant or whatever the case may be. But this is one of my favorite episodes in my favorite book, you guys. The Werewolf of Fever Swamp. So I know all about this book. So this was about a sister and a brother. They went to visit their... They went to go visit their grandparents or their aunties and uncles. They went to go visit like their aunties and uncles. And they end up meeting some kids that were around in that type of neighborhood. So this, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm remembering correctly, this took place in like the bayou area, somewhere like Louisiana type area where it's like very, very swampy. And I think there was like an urban legend of like wolves and people turning into wolves, and you know, their auntie and uncle try to lock them in the house at night so they wouldn't go outside and get exposed. But as kids do, they ended up getting free outside and end up meeting some local kids, and I think the kids try to tell them about the story of the swamps, and I think the kids end up turning to the wolves. And then these kids try to run back to the house. I think their auntie and uncles was actually wolves too. Like, it was so crazy. And then, so on this book it said, who's afraid of the big bad wolf? Like, that's so cute. And then on the back is like, what big teeth do you have? Like, those are so funny. And I love the artwork on this book. Look, it's like acid, but that's actually swamp, but it looks like acid. Like, it's really cool. And like, this is a kid. Obviously the kid ripped out of the clothes and turned into a wolf. Werewolf of Fever Swamp. This is like one of my favorite books. I guess Slappy's one of his favorite book too. Slappy, what book you got? Now this is another book. It was just series, a bunch of books inside of one, and that's a series of different different shows. Sorry you guys, my hand was all up in the thing. My hand was all up in the camera. Sorry about that, y'all. Now, do you all remember this one? My Harriest Adventure. This is a popular book as well, by R.L. Stine. And it's a very, like, one of his first episodes as well. It's on the first season. This was basically about a little boy who basically, at the end of the book and at the end of the show, he turns into a dog. Okay, he turns into a dog, again. So he turns into a dog, but again, not one of my favorites. But I like R.L. Stine, so it's okay with me. I got this book. Actually, it looks like this was a library book. that I never even returned back to the library. Like, it's okay. Yeah, the name of the school is right here in the book. They never got this book back. That's okay. It's mine now. I got a new home. So, Night of the Living Dummy, Part 2. Slappy. How like y'all feel? Slappy. So, Night of the Living Dummy, Part 2. To be honest, you guys, I know Night of the Living Dummy Part 1, but to be honest, like, Night of the Living Dummy is not even one of my favorites. It's not a favorite book. It's not a favorite episode. But I love Slappy. He is my favorite. We're going to get into Slappy in a minute. I'll tell y'all all about him and stuff like that. But sad to say, Night of the Living Dummy is not one of my faves. It's not my favorite. But he's my favorite. So that's all that matters. Don't judge me. Night of the Living Dummy or whatever. It ain't my... whatever. I don't like it like that. But I do like this one. So, Egg Monsters from Mars, I don't even know if he made this one into a show, because I think he has like 3 seasons of Goosebumps, and this is not even one of them. And to be honest, I don't even remember what this was about, but it says there no yolk. I don't remember what this one was about, but I remember buying this from a book fair. Like, in my middle school, you guys, we had book fairs where we can go and buy books. We can go and buy, like, different little, like, pencils. Like, they let us buy these type of things, and my school would host that. And I remember my parents would give me money because I would be like, I want a Goosebump book. I want a Goosebump book. And they would give me money, and I remember I would have bookmarks that would go in my books and stuff like that when I did read these books. But that was one thing from my childhood that I do remember, and that's we had book fairs, and I was able to buy all these books from a book fair, you guys. Every now and then my parents would take me to a bookstore as well, you know, like Barnes and Nobles and Books A Million. They are like Barnes and Noble, Books A Million. My parents would take me there and stuff like that, and I do remember buying some of these books from there as well. I mean, y'all might think that I was a bookworm. Y'all might think I was a bookworm or something like that, but I did, like, buy a lot of books, buy a lot of magazines, and like poster magazines and stuff like that. And I used to read articles about my favorite artists or whatever I was into at the time. I did read stuff like that, you guys. Do y'all remember this one? It came from beneath the sink, and you can tell this book been through a lot because it doesn't even have a back to it. That's how you know this is a vintage classic book. It came from beneath the sink, and this is probably the first Goosebump book I ever bought. I do remember getting this book, and I do remember this being like my very first book. I don't really remember what happened. I really do not remember what happened, you guys, or what was beneath that sink. But I do remember getting this book. Okay? And this is another book, you guys, How I Learned to Fly. I don't remember him having an episode about this book either. I don't remember him ever bringing this one to the TV screen. I don't remember him bringing this to the flat screen, you guys. Birds is chirping. And then, do you guys remember, and this is one of the episodes on TV that I like a lot. And this one is kind of really scary. It's called Ghost Beach. This is one of my favorite books, you guys. So Ghost Beach was, let me remember, because it's been a while. If I remember correctly, this was about some kids. Maybe the kids was out visiting their grandparents or aunties and uncles. It's crazy because a lot of the Goosebumps books, just collection as a whole, are based on kids going to visit their aunties and uncles. So they might go visit their aunties and uncles. So they went to go visit their aunties and uncles, and I'm pretty sure they lived by a haunted beach, and the kids basically got lured into a cave, found out it was haunted, and they were ghosts. Like, basically there's ghosts on this beach. I don't remember what happened at the end of that, but y'all can go see that on Netflix. Do they have Haunted Beach on Netflix? I had to go look back and see. But I'm pretty sure Haunted Beach is on Netflix because they do have the whole collection of Goosebumps. This was another book that was holographic. That's the word I'm looking for, you guys. I'm looking for the word holographic. So this was another one of the books that became holographic as the series continued. And it does look like that this was a library book as well. But again, this was just a book full of different stories inside of this book. I don't remember the stories inside of this book, but it did have monsters in it, and then it did have where like a spin the wheel was inside of this one. So this was one of the new holographic books. Another episode, you guys, of Goosebumps that's a really good one. I think it's called Horrorland or Trip to Horrorland or something like that. Basically, it was about a family who went on a trip to an amusement park. So they thought it was an amusement park, but it had real monsters inside of there, and then they end up getting trapped inside of there, and then they end up finding out that they were actually on TV. The monsters were watching a TV show. The humans were the one that was on the TV show. All the monsters want to eat them. It was really, really crazy and bizarre, but he ended up making a part 2 to that episode and book, like Trip to Horrorland, and then it begins. But I'm not gonna hold y'all. One of my most favorite Goosebump episodes and books that I don't even own the book is The Haunted Mask. Okay? The Haunted Mask has a part 1 and it has a part 2. It's about a girl, I think her name is like Cindy Lou. Something like that. And she basically wanted revenge on everybody because she would get picked on. She was the underdog. So on Halloween, she wanted to get her revenge. She ends up getting the creepiest, scariest mask on earth. So the mask was actually made out of real skin. She put the mask on. The mask would not come off. And it's a big ordeal. Then part 2, it was a little boy who also gets a mask. It was real skin. Turned him to an old man. He had like bugs in his hair. Like, it was really, really horrifying, and that it will forever like be one of my favorite Goosebump episodes and books of all times, except of Werewolf of Fever Swamp, because this is one of my favorite ones too. And like, R.L. Stine was very, very creative. He's very, very creative, and I do like the Goosebump theme. That theme's classic. And then the way the show comes on and we get to see him, he introduced the story. Like, he is very, very creative. I do like R.L. Stein. Like I said, this was one of the books that became a collective of stories inside of one book. I don't remember the stories of what happened in this book, but I love zombies. I love zombies. Like, one of my favorite movies is Return of the Living Dead. It's a zombie movie. So let's get into Slappy, you guys. So this Slappy, he's pretty tall. And he is my ventriloquist dummy. Little cat over. I hope the cat will come over here, you guys. Anyway, this is my dummy, you guys. He's a ventriloquist doll. And he is Slappy. So he is Slappy from the Goosebumps movie. Jack Black is in the movie. There's part 1 and part 2 of the Goosebumps movie. And this is Slappy from the movie. His eyes glow in the dark. Here's his string. So, are you gonna talk to him, Slappy? Are you gonna talk to them today? Yeah, I'm gonna talk to him today if you're gonna make me talk. Well, Slappy, I never make you talk. But you always make me talk when I don't want to. Well, I'm not making you talk right now. Yes, you are. I'm not even speaking. You are. So, long story short, you guys, I am not a ventriloquist, but this is my Slappy, and I do adore him. There is actually a backstory to this dog, you guys. Something special about this dog. But if y'all do want to know that story, just leave down in the comments and I will expose the story behind this dog. I have not ate yet. So let's just go ahead and eat something and let's answer a few questions. Alright, y'all? Let's just turn this into a little mukbang, little trivia, little questions or something like that. Let's just turn it into something like that. Okay? So, let's just answer like some movie questions, like some horror movie questions. Okay? And let's just go ahead. So, I have some chow mein right here. So, let's just eat some of that. And answer some questions, okay? So, the first question says, which of these movie franchises has the most sequels? Okay? And then our options is Halloween, Final Destination, Nightmare on Elm Street, or Friday the 13th. Which one of those movies has the most? Which one of those horror movies franchises the most sequels? I'm gonna say Friday the 13th. And then here's the fun fact. With 12 sequels, and this question, this answer is right. With 12 sequels, Friday the 13th takes the prize for the most sequels, including a 2023 crossover film with Freddy Krueger from the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise and the 2009 reboot Friday the 13th. Final Destination has 5 sequels, Halloween has 10, and Nightmare on Elm Street has 9. So Friday the 13th has 12. So Friday the 13th has the most sequels. I mean, if you know, you know. I mean, Jason, he kept coming back. Jason went to hell and came back. Jason went to outer space and came back. Jason was dead and was teleporting from body to body so people can kill for him. Like, Jason He has a lot of sequels. That was easy. Okay. Okay, so the next question says, what is Jamie Lee's character's name in Halloween? And then our options are Lori, Regine, Jane, and Susie. Do y'all know Jamie Lee's character name up in Halloween? Drop in the comments if y'all know who it is. But in case y'all don't know who it is, it's Lori. And we picked Lori. And it says Jamie Lee Curtis played Laurie Strode in 1978 horror classic Halloween. Halloween is one of my most favorite horror movies, and the first one is my favorite one out of the whole franchise. The first Halloween is my favorite one. Rob Zombie remade it. I don't like it. I didn't like when Rob Zombie remade it. I did like when Rob Zombie remade the monsters. Well, not remade the monsters, but made the monsters into a movie. I did like that, but I did not like what he did to Halloween at all. Okay, it says, which of these movies does not feature zombies? And then our options is I Am Legend, Night of the Living Dead, World War Z, and 28 Days Later. Y'all, do we really gotta think about it? Even though Will Smith is a zombie, but there was no zombies in I Am Legend, right? Ain't I Am Legend a Will Smith movie? So of course, we already know I Am Legend do not have zombies in it, so we got that right. All the other movies was obviously about a zombie apocalypse. Okay, so the next question says, which film is not a horror spoof? Okay, and our options are We Are Where We Are, Scary Movie, What We Do in the Shadows, and Shaun of the Dead. So, Scary Movie is one, Shaun of the Dead is one. I don't know what We Are is, and I don't know What We Do in the Shadows. I don't know what either one of those are. So, let's see what it let us pick two of them. Well, so I tried to pick two, but I picked We Are Who We Are first, and that's what it said. So it said, We Are Where We Are is not a spoof. The spine-chilling film about a family of cannibals is a remake of the 2010 Mexican film Somos Lo Que. Somos Lo Que. Did I say that right? But hey, We Are Who We Are, We Are What We Are is not a horror spoof. Okay? We learn something new every day in the horror field. Okay? Okay, so the next one says, which of these actors has not acted in a vampire movie? Jack Nicholson, Gray Oldman, Bill Nighy, and Hugh Jackman. I don't know who nobody is except Jack Nicholson. And we all know he plays in The Shining. And we all know that he's the original, well, the 90s Joker. We all know he's that. I don't know him as a vampire. So we're going to pick Jack Nicholson. And of course we got that right. It said, while Jack Nicholson did sport fangs in the 1994 film Wolf, he has not been in a vampire movie. See, I didn't even know that. I didn't know he was in a movie called Wolf. So I'm actually going to have to Google that because I want to see the artwork for that movie. I've never even heard of it. Okay. And then the last question, you guys. Well, no. We got one. We got two more questions. The second to the last question says, which of these scary flicks won an Oscar for the Best Picture? And our options is Rosemary's Baby, which I've never seen before, Silence of the Lamb, Bram Stoker's Dracula, and The Exorcist. Who won an Oscar? I really don't know. Silence of the Lambs is not one of my favorite movies. I don't like The Exorcist. Bram Stoker's Dracula, I have seen it, but I don't know if they got an Oscar. And Rosemary's Baby, I'm not familiar with, so we're going to drop down in the comments, y'all. Who got an Oscar? Do y'all know this stuff? But I'm going to pick Silence of the Lambs. Because Anthony Hopkins is a good actor, so he might have got an Oscar for this. And we got it right. See what I'm saying? We got it right. So Silence of the Lambs was the only one to take home the best. Silence of the Lambs was the only one to take home the prize for Best Picture in 1991, you guys. There we go. Anthony Hopkins is a good guy. He's a good actor. So I can see that happening. Alright, so which brings us to our last question, you guys. And it says, which of these classic horror films has not been remade? Although every movie has been remade, but let's see which one has not. Misery, Poltergeist, Halloween, and Nightmare on Elm Street. Drop down in the comments if y'all know the answer to this. I know what the answer is. Let me start by saying I do not like the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street at all. It's not Robert Englund for Freddy. It's not Robert. It's a different guy. I don't know his name. I don't want to know his name. I don't like the movie at all. I do not like any of the Halloweens that Rob Zombie made. I don't like those. Poltergeist, I'm not too familiar with Poltergeist. I don't think I necessarily know what it's about or ever seen it. I don't know what it's about, but I think they remade that. Misery, I never saw Misery before, but I don't think they ever remade Misery. I never heard or seen any trailers of a new Misery movie coming out. So let's see. We got it right. So it says Misery starring Kathy Bates as a maniacal fan. Annie Wilkins has never been remade. Who can top her Academy Award winning performance? So we got those right, you guys. And I pushed submit. So I guess they wanted to take our scores. We got a 78 out of 100. I don't get it, but whatever. We did the quiz. We got right what we needed to get right, you guys. I mean, that was a fun quiz. I wish it had more stuff, like more questions. I think we had like 10 questions. You know what I mean? Which was not a lot. Which was easy and fast for me to just blow through. Like, that's my thing, you guys. Like, I love horror movies. I like horror books. You know what I mean? That's my thing. So I do want to thank y'all for hanging out today. I want to thank y'all for stopping by and watching me review some of my favorite childhood books and one of my favorite childhood authors, R.L. Stine, you guys. The movie trivia was definitely fun. I just wish there were more questions because I really do find that stuff like very fun and entertaining. So just leave down in the comments if y'all want to do more mukbangs about horror movies, anything horror, you guys, anything y'all want to know about, period. Leave it in the comments. We can definitely do it. I promise you we can do it. I want to remind you to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I want to thank you for watching the video today. Enjoy the rest of your day. Looks like I need to apply some more lipstick, but don't worry about that. It's your girl Mimi Black. I'm out.